up, folks? It is Thursday night at 6:30. I am your host here of the Fat Thor podcast, Andy Gunnin.
And I'm Rick Wayne on the Fat Thor podcast with Andy Gunnin.
We're here. We've moved to Thursday night, as you know, folks. If you didn't know, we moved to Thursday nights. My son plays varsity football, and they have games every Friday night at 7:30. So we've moved it back so I could actually go to his game to accommodate. I think it works out just fine. I hope everybody likes my new lighting, my green screen. Look at this.
It's great.
The Motel 6 paintings are gone.
They kicked you out of Motel 6 finally.
They kicked me out of Motel 6. I wouldn't pay them anymore. And basically, yeah. And so they kicked me out. So now I don't have to worry about the sun going down and it getting dark and all that fun stuff. But we're back. We had a great show Tuesday night at Power 108.9 on All About the Laughs. Benny Paul called in. That was fun. Anything new happening with you, Rick, in between Tuesday and Thursday?
No, I can't say that it has. I've just been, all the bills are paid.
Good.
Just been enjoying this weather, so no stress.
No stress. That's all. That's all you can ask for right now, dude. That is literally all you can ask for.
Yeah.
But hey, we've got a great show for everybody tonight. I hope you're ready. Everybody's still been, the whole thing of quarantine and. Everybody's trying to lose weight now. Everybody's kind of semi out of quarantine, but still in it. Everybody's still. A lot of people still haven't got their hair cut. A lot of people haven't shaved. So I thought, what better way to talk about all this than to bring somebody on who's an expert not only in beards but in shaving as well. So we've got a special guest all the way from Phoenix Shaving out in Arizona. We have the owner of a shaving company. He's going to tell us all about whether we should shave, not shave, manicure stuff, oil it, rub it, lube it down. I don't know. He's going to tell us what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Welcome to the show, Douglas Smythe. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you, brother. How are you doing, sir? Hold on. I got I muted your mic when it brought you up. Sorry. You're here. Yeah. Douglas.
Testing. Is this thing on?
It's on. You're on.
Right on. Thanks for having me, guys. It's really good to be here. And yes, as you can see, being a shaving expert, I myself have fallen under the spell of COVID too, and the Fat Thor philosophy, if you will.
Right. Exactly. The Fat Thor philosophy of we don't know what we're doing when we're doing it.
No, we're doing it well in its style.
Right. Exactly. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Douglas. I came across, here's a funny story. I came across Douglas just kind of randomly through a podcast thing. I stumbled into podcast guests and different things. And all these things are filled with a bunch of folks like, I am your new personal life coach. I am I am the expert of this and that. So if you're the expert of this and this, why are you asking to go talk to people on their podcast if you're the expert? And then Doug's picture popped up, which I'm a big, huge alien guy and theorist. And his photos were like aliens and this and that. And I'm like, he actually owns a company too. Holy crap. It's like, and talks about, I was like, this is my dude right here.
Yeah.
This is my
guy. Know that.
And so I reached out to him and thanks for coming on, brother.
Hey.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to be here. I don't know what picture was it? Was it me like in a cave? Like
it was you with that hat on in the cave with some glasses,
okay.
like looking, and then there's four other ones on there, and then you had your shaving stuff and the UFO and the razor and all that.
There's one with me and David Duchovny also, and there's another one with me with Giorgio from Ancient Aliens. So I didn't know if it was that you were talking about when you went.
And I saw that too. I saw him. And now
if you Google Ancient Aliens or Google Giorgio, one or the other, that picture will come up with me and him together.
Will it? Yeah. Giorgio, I love Giorgio. He cracks me up every time he starts talking. He cracks me.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He has a lot of my gear.
Oh, does he?
So here a week ago in New Jersey, was it a blimp?
Oh, that was a blimp. That was totally a blimp. It looks like a blimp.
I don't know. My whole thing was there's a lot of people stopping traffic to look at a blimp, though. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's just where we're at right now. No one's got anything else to do, so it's like, hey, look, But even a blimp's getting us off now. But that was the unsexiest UFO I've ever seen. Typically, they're sleek, they're stopping on a dime, and they're going. This is like a blimp going.
Right. Yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
I did see some footage off TMZ that was over in Huntington Beach about a month ago. That was pretty impressive. That did not look like a blimp.
It's tough in this day and age with Photoshop and all types of, the trick photography that we all have access to now. So it's
right.
These types of things are more difficult to believe than they once were, I think.
I agree.
And with drones being as popular as they are, those are often misconstrued as UFO sightings too nowadays, more and more every day.
Right.
It was easier. It was in 1978 and 79 and the early 80s when you saw footage. It was generally more believable just because people didn't have technology.
Exactly.
Now, like you said, there's stuff on your phone that you can make happen, and and then that's what makes it so unbelievable. Really, with me, everything is. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I mean that's the day and age we live in now. Everything's fake news, right?
Yes, that is. That is true. It is true. Hey, everybody! I forgot to tell you, share the show. Share the show before we get into Douglas' shaving expertise, and we're just talking about aliens coming to take us away or probe us or whatever they're going to do.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. It's 2020. Come on,
we like to mix it up. We don't judge it.
Just buy me a drink first is all I'm saying.
Exactly. Buy me a drink. Do something. But share the show. It's how we grow. We've had some great shows. But anyways, they want to cut that off. Just want to remind people to share. You got to tell people what to do. They just won't do it.
I know. No, it's true. So be sure to share the show, folks, right now on your Facebook and social media, right across the board. Make it happen.
Right across the board. Exactly.
We're talking about probing. We're talking about probing and shaving. Why would you not want to share that?
Oh, was I supposed to go into an introduction of who I am?
Yeah. Go ahead. No,
you guys bring up aliens, and I go on this tangent. My name's Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com, and I'm co-owner of PhoenixShaving.com. I share it with my girlfriend, the business, and we are both artists and soap makers and perfumers. I also do the graphic design and artwork behind all of our products. Aside from creating male grooming products, I also have a show called I'd Lather Be Shaving.com, which is a morning shave show. Again, tough to believe when I have this perfectly shaped beard. But in order to have a perfectly shaped beard, you must shave. A lot of people don't realize that. I had a company years back. It was called How to Grow a Mustache. And people used to always give me that, give me shit over that. Like, how can you have a shaving company and have a mustache? It's like, well, you can't have a mustache unless you're shaving around it. So get past that, folks. But we do all types of male grooming products aside from, shaving. But shaving is my primary focus and my passion. And it's not cartridge razor shaving that I'm talking about. It's not goo in a can. I'm talking about traditional safety razor shaving, which we'll get into at some point here, which is, I think, is the better way to shave. In fact, the only reason why we ever turned to cartridge razors to begin with in the early 70s was more for money and loss of patent rights than ever having to do with a better shave. So I call it the cartridge razor conspiracy. So we will delve into some conspiracy here. But
alien conspiracies.
And then we'll throw some alien fun in there too, because we're all about, disclosure as well as a good shave. But yeah, aside from that, and media, we've been building this brand for the last 8 years, and it's not your typical male grooming line. We have a lot of alien and conspiracy, not necessarily conspiracy, more alien, fun stuff like that, themes running through all of our products. All of our labels have like anagrams and secret hidden Easter eggs. They're all related to other ones. There's an ongoing universe we've created, our saga, an on-running story. And if you look at some of our sales pages, the stories begin and then continue on to another sales page. It's like slightly sci-fi, fantasy. I might or may not be the main character in some of these stories. It's kind of weird like that. But we have a cult following because of this. It's almost like a comic book type story going on. Right. So it's a lot of fun. And it's also, again, a kick-ass shave. Once you turn to traditional shaving, you'll never go back to cartridge razors ever.
Right. And talking about that, I tried to go to a straight razor, single blade straight razor years ago. And I think that's the coolest thing you can have done to you in a barber shop. Number one, the whole
that's true.
Much less learn how to do it yourself. Now I backed off because I scared myself. I was like, man, I'm going to cut the hell out of myself.
Yeah.
I could actually probably do it to somebody easier and better than to myself. Because it is an art
50 shaves to get good with a straight razor.
And see, I didn't have time for that.
Well, and then also it depends on how sharp it is. Sometimes like a good pocket knife, if it's not sharp enough, that's not a good knife.
Exactly.
You need it to be sharp, otherwise it's going to catch. You're gonna, and then you're gonna cut yourself. So you want something that's gonna cut through butter, slice a hair in half. That's actually a real test that barbers do with straight razor. But yeah, you can't.
Every time I get a hunting knife, I just take it up my arm and see what it takes off, and I'm like, okay.
And you know where you are with it. But I mean, like the same thing with a straight razor. If it's not honed or stropped after each use, like it's gonna fall out of shape real fast and not give you a good shave. But there's nothing more economical or more green, better for the planet, or money saving than using a straight razor, because that's a one-time purchase. You just have to maintain it. So it is a good art to learn. In fact, being stuck in the house like we all are, that might be something you really want to look into as well, is learning how to straight razor shave. And 50 shaves with it, and you'll have it down. 100 shaves, you'll have it mastered. But I mean, some people pick it up right away and they know exactly how to do it. It's really about the angle, the 30-degree angle you have. Right. But there's no guard on it. But I mean, so that does take practice. And that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about safety razor shaving.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk. And that's what, hold on, I got some pictures. Is that what this is here?
Yeah, that's one of
your safety razors. Okay. Tell us what that is.
That's the Alpha Ecliptic safety razor. And so that would take a double-edged blade. And everyone's talking about the Dollar Shave Club and stuff these days. Everyone's like, I'm saving all this money with my club I joined. And like, my whole thing with that is, you can join a club and you're saving money, but you're using subpar material. You're using the wrong tool for the job. You want to use a single blade, would fit in that. And a single blade, a double-edged blade, for 100 of them, it costs between $9 and $15 for 100 blades.
For 100 blades. So that's
where cartridge razors were like, $4 for $25? And then with the Dollar Shave Club, you get X amount. We're talking pennies here, and you get a better shave. You only need one blade.
I think Gillette will charge like $25 for those little snap-in heads.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. It's like 5 of them.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to that whole cartridge razor conspiracy I was talking about. Back in 1971, Gillette and Wilkinson Sword and other brands, they started to introduce cartridge razors, and the double-edged blades they were selling at the time that would fit a razor like that you see now, they started dulling them down so to move people over to the cartridge razor, say, hey, look, you're getting a better shave. But on all actuality, the only reason why that cartridge razor was invented was because Gillette, after owning the patent for 50 years, was losing patent rights and control over it. So other companies were coming in. So they needed a new invention. And that's where the cartridge razor comes in. But a cartridge razor, you only need one blade. Those multi-blades cut your hair too close. And you start, you're begging for an ingrown hair and for problems there, for razor burn, razor rash, ingrown hairs, because the first blade lifts, second blade cuts, third blade lifts, fourth blade cuts, so on and so forth. So it's so short, you're begging for trouble. I mean, it's going to go right below your skin. Whereas with a single blade like this, you control the shave. Not only that, but there's hundreds of different blade brands for DE blades. So you can finally, for the first time in your life, customize the shave, the tool you're using for your own unique face, because all the blades have a different feel and bevel to them. And all the razors too, all the different safety razors. So you can really fine tune what works for your face. Because most guys I know, especially these days, hate shaving. That's why beards became so popular. Everyone's using the same tool on different faces and different skin types. Of course, you're going to run into problems. It doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
So that's why I say look back at traditional shaving and see what's going on there, because you are going to get a better shave. And like back to the ingrown hairs. Before 1970s or 1971, no one was talking about ingrown hairs, razor burn, and razor bumps. No one talked about that. If you look at pictures of people back in the day, you don't see bumps on their neck or whatnot. That didn't exist. That comes with the cartridge razor shaving. So they created the problem, and now they create products to treat those things with. The problem and solution they're treating at the same time. And if that doesn't tell you right there, there's a cartridge razor conspiracy going on. I don't know what will.
Right. Well, talking about that straight razor as a cartridge and the is it better to shave down than up? Everybody's like, everybody, and then, and I also kind of want to go back into, the term you use, froth, about a blade, and kind of work way into that. I know what that is. I know what you're talking about. A lot of people may not, but
sure.
Let's just walk down that path. A lot of people say, well, just shave down. Or with the grain or grain. Because I found, back before I stopped shaving and kept kind of a semi-little beard, whatever you want to call it. I can't shave up. I can go down.
Yeah.
But that's it. Anything opposite of that, I have issues.
Okay. So yeah, people do talk about that a lot. And that conversation right there is born out of cartridge razor shaving. I would say if you're still using cartridge razors, be you a head shaver or a face shaver and you're using these cartridge razors, multi-blade razors is what I'm talking about, going against the grain is a bad idea because they do. Yeah, they're shaving too close to the skin. And then when you're going against the grain, you're just begging for issues. However, against the grain is going to be different for everybody out there because if you notice, the grain patterns on your beard will grow in every different direction, and it's never the same for any two people. So the first thing to do is trace or figure out which direction your grain is growing in.
Right.
A lot of people do this, and so you know when you are in fact shaving against the grain. However, with a traditional safety razor, a double-edged blade, you can shave against the grain. But that's okay. So what you would do is we don't just do one pass with a safety razor. You do multiple passes. So what you would do is, and we also don't use goo in a can. We use traditional soap and a shave brush. So you would load
kind of like your start. Is that like your starter kit here?
Exactly like that. So that brush, you would take that and on the puck of soap, you would load up the soap on the brush and then move the brush over your face, adding water as needed, and build up a lather. Now you have this lather, and it's better than goo in a can. Goo in a can is loaded with air and aerosol and all types of propellants that have no business being on your face. But also that air, the air bubbles don't make contact with your skin. When you're brushing it on there, you're making perfect contact with this protective layer of lather and soap. It's also stimulating for the skin and exfoliating, naturally exfoliating. So those are added benefits. But then you would brush the lather on, and then you would do your first pass. Now, the whole reason lather is on your face is to hold hydration there. Your hair is sucking up the water in the soap, and with doing this, it grows. It becomes fatter and an easier target for the blade to hit. It's more to bite onto. So that's why we use lather, and it will suck. I think it's like 30% more water than without using water. So it turns into this fat follicle, and that's what you want to hit with the first pass. And so you start off down, a downward pass. We'll say with the grain, WTG, and then you can stop right there. If it's a close shave, if you feel good about it, you can stop right there. But what I do is I do 4 passes. Then I re-lather, hot lather again, different than goo in a can. It's actually very soothing to use hot lather, and therapeutic for some. That's another thing what I like about this is it becomes a ritual. Like time to yourself, it feels really great, and you're getting a killer shave, the best shave you've ever had. So I reapply the lather for the second pass. Second pass, I go across the grain, or ATG. So across the grain, and then time for the third pass. Now, third pass, I can go across the grain again, the opposite way, or I could choose to go against the grain. By this time, your hair has sucked up so much water, it's an easier target again. So it's not like using that cartridge razor and the goo in the can. It's filled with water, making it safer for that blade to pass over. And then you can go against the grain. And the neck's always tough, so you can do the bullfrog where you puff out your neck like this, giving it more
the double chin, the triple double chin, the bullfrog, the bullfrog.
I'll do the what's up, I like to call it, when I look up and it makes the skin more taut. But then you can go against the grain and you'll be fine. Most guys chase a BBS shave or a baby butt smooth shave. Don't do that. If you find yourself doing that, that's where you're going to run into problems too. That's where razor burn comes from, because once more, the hair's absorbed water, so it tricks you. It fools you into shaving it more than you need to, because after half an hour or an hour after you shave, it's going to lose all that water and drop down, and you won't even feel it. You'll have a baby butt smooth shave. So don't be a victim of that. Don't fall for it, because it'll try to trick you every time. So you can go against the grain, and you could go against the grain back in the day too using these devices. It's cartridge razors that screwed up everybody and created this whole controversy around shaving against the grain.
Right. Well, shaving's an art form, realistically. When you go do the old school barbershop thing, it's a performance. It's kind of like when women go to the salon or whatever you say. Or
it is.
Fingers. I mean, that's, and if you've never had that experience or done, and there are, a lot of still old school barbershops around here where I live in Georgia, that are here, and a couple have 2 more have resurfaced. So we've got like 3. And it's worth it. I mean, for the experience to get that done. A buddy of mine, he has a beard like down to here. He has a big beard, and he goes and gets it. They trim it, get the dead end. And I was like, "What are you talking about, dead ends?" He goes, "Dude, or split ends, excuse me, split ends." Yeah. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I thought only women get in your hair." He goes, "No, your beard." He goes, "Your beard, you have to take care of it more so than your hair and your head, or just as much." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And another friend of mine who had a really long beard, he had to take the whole thing up in March because he went to go have it trimmed. And the barber looked at him and said, "Have you ever taken care of this?" He goes, "What do you mean taking care of it?" He goes, yeah, I wash it with shampoo and conditioner. And he goes, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He goes, you got to get rid of the whole thing right now. There's nothing I can do for you.
Wow.
Literally told him to whack the whole thing off and regrow. And it was like down to here. And he's a comedian and he's known for his long beard. And I'm like, say what?
I don't know if I'd agree with that. A lot of like barbers, since I've gotten into this niche, if you will, because it is a niche.
Right. And how did you get into the niche? You know, how did you get into this? Because I mean, this kind of niche came back into play probably around 2000, I think, late 90s, early. It's kind of when it started, and I started seeing it come back from when I grew up as a kid, going around the barbershop, watching my grandfather get a shave, that whole thing. So how did you fall into it?
Well, I grew up watching my dad, who inherited safety razors, vintage Gillettes from his father, and on the weekends he used to wet shave. During the course of the week, I think he had an electric razor he'd use, which I never really figured out. But he would take the traditional razor and do it, and I would pull up a stool up next to him, get on the sink. He'd lather me up, and he had 2 of these razors. He'd give me one without the blade in it. And then I would shave with him, and he would show me what he was doing. So there was that. I got into it when I was real young, and then that was something we did when I was a kid, and I didn't really find it until years later, till about 2003 maybe. Thanks to the internet. The internet really, you started seeing this stuff again pop up, and it was available. You could find blades all of a sudden, because DE blades were tough to find the last 20 years, or before that, anyways. Intentionally. But now you had access to these things thanks to eBay and stuff like that. And I've always been into antiques and old things. I like them, and it was even great when you could still use the thing, so I was collecting vintage razors, and I had experience with them when I was younger, so I started using them again. And that's pretty much the short story on how I got into it. But then I discovered the forums and the groups out there, and there are guys do shaves of the day photos with all the different razors they have, the different products they use. Like, it's big. We take it really seriously, and it's a hobby. So I mean, and I'm also a collector. I grew up collecting comic books and coins and all that stuff. So it wasn't really too difficult for me to fall into this addiction, if you will. And so I have like hundreds of different vintage razors now, and modern ones. And every day, for a while I was using different ones. And I created a blog back in 2012 called howtogrowmustache.com. And I was really into facial hair in general, and grooming. So I created this blog, and I was trying to sell ad space for a while, and I really couldn't find the right product that would work with us. And I ended up making a mustache wax that took off like hotcakes. And it was before everyone was really doing it.
Was it this one?
Well, it turned into that eventually. That is what it evolved to. But we were known for our mustache waxes, and it just took off. And I mean, before that, the whole thing starts in Costa Rica, in Central America. I was living in Central America for about 4 years in the rainforest in a hammock. I read that, and I wanted to know if it was a true story. So it's a true story. Yeah, I left the country in 2008 for Central America. I went on a vacation with a buddy of mine, and I fell in love with this place. And I was like, the weather's perfect here all year round. I would save so much money everyone thought I was having a breakdown when I was like, yep, just leaving the country. And did that. I lived in a hammock in the jungle for a while. And while I was there, I was getting bit by bugs, sand fleas, around like 6 o'clock at night, every night. For about a half an hour, they were out. They were tearing me up. And you couldn't find like that afterbite product that you could use you could find up here in the States. And so I had to create my own. And I was buying like chemicals that were available to me down there. And I created this stuff I was calling Ichnomas. And it was to treat bites with, and it worked. It worked so well. I had locals like knocking on my tent flaps trying to get some. And
so what was it? What was it all in there?
Just different essential oils. It's still kind of a proprietary recipe.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to get too specific. Yeah, I don't want to get too specific.
Let's just put this. It worked, and I was like, if I ever make it back to the United States, I'm going to produce this stuff if I can. And I didn't think I really would, but when I did get back 4 years later, it was an Etsy world I came back to, where people were making their own things and selling them online. So I was like, oh, I can actually do this. And so I was making this product called Ichnomas and shipping it down to Central America. And I also invented this thing called Stinknomas, and it was an emergency deodorant / insect repellent. So it was actually in like a chapstick tube. So it was small enough to travel, but when you used it, as you sweat, it would release the essential oils into the air that would repel bugs. So it was like a two in one action. And so I was sending these back to Central America, and people were eating them up. However, the shipping was killing me. So I was like, I really need to turn my sights on doing something here. And that's what happened. And the blog came to be, and then the mustache wax, and eventually my wet shaving hobby. I was into that, and I was trying to find a matching bay rum soap to use for my cologne, and it was getting crazy with that. And so that's the only reason why I started making a soap too. It wasn't really a product I wanted to sell or even thought about it would be possible selling. And I did that, and I was writing for another blog, which is about shaving. And I sent the owner of this blog a test soap that I made, thinking he'd enjoy it. And he did enjoy it. And he's like, so when's it for sale? And that's when it hit me like, oh yeah. And we kind of took off. After that, and this is back in 2008 when there was only like 5 other people doing this. Now there's hundreds, but so we were in the right place at the right time, and the blog and the shows, and I try to make it fun, and that somehow resonated with people, and here we are.
Right. Cool. That's so. Do you still make the new moss, or is that just?
Yeah, it's no moss. No, I don't anymore. I mean, I've shelved it for now, just because. We've got so much more going on right now. I do still make the Stink No Mas, but I call it Outdoorsman's Friend now, and it's a regular size deodorant, and I sell it in the springtime with a matching shave soap and even an aftershave, and it's just loaded with essential oils that actually repel mosquitoes, and the aftershave is more powerful, 10 times more powerful than DEET, and that's because the catnip oil in it. Catnip oil is a huge insect repellent. It's amazing stuff. So yeah, I sell it every spring and summer, and hunters and outdoorsmen really like that. So that's still available.
I think I told you. Well, you and I were talking before the show, and I was kind of getting your name. I was like, "Yeah, I saw a video you did the other day, and you were just kind of we were talking real fast. Like, which one?" And then it just kind of, you saying that just reminded me about what you were actually talking about. It was the release of certain items and certain things, and since you only have them limited times, and then you're like, "That's it, it's over." Right.
Oh, yeah, seasonals. There's some seasonal. Yeah, we have our standards products out there, but then throughout the course of the year, I do seasonal. Really, I don't like to do limited editions, which is like when someone does a limited edition, it's usually available for like a week in this niche. Right. Mm-hmm. I like to make it easier for people to get these things. So I make stuff available for like months for a season, and usually they're related to whatever the season is. Like right now, we're releasing pumpkin spice bay rum and stuff like that, cider flavored or scented stuff. And I get really into that. I really like creating scents. It's a lot like painting. It's a lot like just different colors. What's that?
Do you sponsor like any of these mustache and beard competitions?
I do actually, and I have in the past too.
Oh, really? Which ones have you?
What's that, Rick?
Oh, I mean, I've seen like these shows where they have like these contests of where it's like length on beards, and then all these different interesting cuts with beards and mustaches, and you learn that it's not a goatee, it's a Van Dyke and things like that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of when I first started selling mustache wax, a lot of these, I learned a lot of my customers were using it wrong, and the whole reason why is because they were watching these shows on TV where these guys are, they're competing, so they have these really eccentric looking dews on their face, and like you always see these insectoid type mustaches, and it's like, guys, they're doing that to win a competition. That's not how you really use mustache wax. Like, you want it to look natural. You don't want people to think you have antennas on your face. So I had to re-educate the population. I have a couple of YouTube channels actually where I'm educating people on this. But yeah, we have sponsored you.
I used to have a customer that would come in, and he was all into that. His mustache was all curled up, and he looked like some sort of villain that was going to put a woman tied up on a train track.
Oiled again.
But the thing to me is I always, he was a nice guy, but I always just thought it was sort of pretentious, because it's like, you clearly want to have a conversation about this mustache all the time.
I'm guilty though. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have any wax now, but I do typically do a handlebar mustache. Like, it's there, and I have videos on how to do it. Right, but it is a conversation piece, and the thing is, people love it. Like, I have women, can I touch it? It's really like, so yeah, we know what we're doing when you rock that. When I was in Mexico last year on a trip, the people down there would stop me in the street, and it's either the hat they want to talk about, or it's the mustache. So, but when you own a brand, if you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk, is what I say.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, you're exactly right. You know, you definitely it spills over to your everyday life. You got to
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, you
whether
have.
you like it or not, whether you like it or not.
It's like
And
my name. Like my Douglas Smythe is my pen name. It's not my real name either. But it's like
got you.
it's my business name, if you will. So like I don't know, Colonel Sanders or Ronald McDonald. So I mean, there's a whole character that goes along with it. We're having fun with it, is what it all comes down to. And I think
Right.
that's
If you're
cool.
not having fun, you're not passionate about it, then it doesn't come out and it doesn't sell.
Exactly. And yeah, and it's not, and you won't keep doing it. Like you have to fall in love with the process. And the way to
Right.
do that is just incorporate everything that makes you up and everything that interests you into one thing. And that's what I think we do best with if you check out our site to the listening audience, you'll see that all the fun we're having, that's, you can't fake that.
Right. And you can go to phoenixshaving.com to look at all the stuff we're talking about right now or after the
And we have a live chat there too. So if you ever have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or anything like that, and want to talk to me, I can talk about this stuff all day long.
And you do live videos here and there on Facebook, like what I caught the other day.
Oh yeah. I do some fun live stuff on Facebook, but also if you're watching this and all this is new to you and you want to learn a little bit more about it, we have a show called I'd Lather Be Shaving.com. I'd Lather Be Shaving.com. And we cover the history, different vintage razors, different vintage products. And we have fun with it too. It's kind of like Wayne's World meets Antique Roadshow meets American Pickers on acid somewhere in the desert. So it's wacky. We do competitions with each other too, me and my co-host, but it's a morning shave show. So you pour yourself a cup of coffee and watch that. And it's a good time. But please check that out. But I mean, yeah, we do it all. I also do a conference once a year called the Big Shave West. Or Big Shave Southwest, and I've done Big Shave West as well, and the Big Shave East, and we've thrown this in California, Florida, and the last 2 years, sort of 2 years, we had to cancel this year, here in Arizona called Big Shave Southwest, and so that's great because we get all these panelists and different artisan shave soap makers and speakers and industry insiders all in the same scene, and people come from all over the world to attend this. And it's awesome. You know, it sounds crazy when I hear myself talking about it, but yeah, we talk about shaving real seriously, like anything else, you know, it's a fun hobby.
Do you have any celebrity clientele?
We do actually. I can't give you names of too many, only I mean, it's legally I can't, but I will say that one of them was going to do ghost stories at the event in this last spring, but it fell through because of COVID, obviously. But yeah, we have some big names that are into it, and I'm friends with like a few of the Ancient Alien guys and whatnot as well. So we're trying to get the name is out there. You know, we're getting our name out, and people are enjoying it and digging it.
Yeah, no, you've got a lot of cool stuff. I went through and looked at a lot of your stuff because, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And we didn't really jump into the safety razor topic, and I think we kind of got off track on that.
Yeah.
You've got several different razors other than this one that are like safety comb razors. They're like
open comb. Yeah.
Open comb razor. I've never used one. And, and of course I keep mine trimmed back now. I mean, I did let it grow down about right here during COVID, but mine typically is in a stereo. So what is those lines of razors? What are those typically used for? And what did you design those for? Because they look cool. They look really neat.
Yeah. Thank you. A lot of them, well, the thing is, I look back, I collect vintage stuff. So a lot of those designs are just reboots by me of classic designs that went the way of the dodo, so to speak. And I've made some tweaks here and there to bring them up to speed with like the modern age. Open combs always existed. Open combs are some of the earliest safety razors. They're about 100 years old. And that was designed for back in the day when you couldn't get to the barber every day and you had to work on the farm or whatever. So you had like a few days worth of growth on your face. An open comb allowed for more water and soap to pass through. A straight bar is for someone that shaves more every day. And it's just a safety bar, just to protect you from the blade. The difference between a safety razor and a straight razor is there's a guard on it. So it's the same angle. It's a fixed angle. It's the angle that you would normally have to find for yourself on a straight razor. It's fixed on a safety razor. And then they put a bar in front of it to protect you. So there's either a bar or there's combs there. So that's the difference there. And you brought up that the barbers are bringing it back in your
Right.
area. I'd be
Right.
curious to know if they're actually using a straight razor or a shavette, which looks like
Straight. It's a straight. It's a complete straight.
but is it a blade they're replacing or is it a real blade?
It's a blade they're replacing.
Yeah.
Now, there's some that have a replace, and the other 3 have a actual blade. It's not a
It's the real
replacement. It's the real blade.
Okay,
Now,
that's a straight razor.
Yeah, and I've got one it's a replacement straight blade.
Okay, that's a shavette.
Yeah, shavette. That's what I have. But
Yeah,
I have, and that scared the heck out of me.
Yeah, well, that's actually this is okay. Good to know because a straight razor is what you want to try. Then straight razors are actually more forgiving than a shavette because that shavette blade is thin and again there's no guard on it. So most people pick those up as like trainer wheels for a straight razor, but they're wrong to do that. They're 2 different animals. A shavette is like a combination of a safety razor. It's like if a safety razor and a straight razor made a baby, it would give you a shavette. And the only reason why shavettes even came to be were for shaping the back of your head.
Right.
Barbers used to use them back in the day.
Yeah,
and
they do that here. They shave the back of your neck, and then they'll do your face as well now.
And now they started using it on the face when it became illegal in most places to use a straight razor because of sanitary reasons. So they have to change the blade out. So they call it straight razor shaves, but it's actually a shavette shave a lot of the time in barbers. Right. And the thing is, going back to that barber telling the guy he had to cut off his beard, I'm not so sure you had to. I find that being in this hobby, a lot of us are much more educated than barbers when it comes to facial hair and grooming, only because these guys are rushing through classes to get their barber certificates so they can cut hair for their job. It's not necessarily a passion that they delved into. It's a job for a lot of these guys. So they did what they had to get the degree, and they've been taught a certain way in these schools. But guys like me, we do this for fun, and we do a lot of digging and research. And so a lot of the times I have conversations with barbers, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I know more than this guy. Especially when it comes to straight razor shaving. It's like some of these guys just took a 1-day class on the weekend to get that certificate to use a straight razor. So they never really delved into it like a lot of us do. And so they
didn't become an apprentice under a barber like they did back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. I mean, it was a profession like a butcher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way they looked at it.
Exactly. Artisan.
Yeah, it was an artisan. It was 100% an artisan thing, and it got away from that, like you're saying. And actually, I got one haircut during this whole thing. I think back in May.
Cheater.
I know. I'm glad I did though, because now it's back out again. I got the 80s. Look, hey, I just got cast in a movie because of my hair. My wife wanted me to cut it, and I said, babe, I can't. I've submitted some stuff for 80s and 70s hair. I got the greatest fro, 80s, 70s, 80s.
Me too.
I got cast in a movie, and I'm like, well, she goes, oh, and I go, yeah, they're paying me not to cut this. So, but anyways, but the one time I did go get it cut down, and I love to go because they shave my neck. They always shave my neck, shave around, and I love it. They do the whole 9, the warm, the air, and they go, oh, we can't do it now because of COVID. They won't let us. Can't do it. So no shavy, no neck. I'm like, that's literally what I'm paying for.
I know, right? The full treatment. But yeah, and good news is you can do this yourself. I mean, especially like you don't need that lather machine because even the soaps they're using in the barbershops, it's not the same. It's not a traditional shave. It's foam coming out of a machine half the time. There's nothing like warm soap off a puck with a brush. And we even sell scuttles, which are like bowls, like double chambered bowls. You fill the bottom with hot water, and the top bowl is where you make the lather. And that water below, that hot water below it, keeps the lather hot the entire shave.
Right.
So you keep applying hot lather, and there's nothing like hot lather when you're doing a shave. But yeah, for those, so barbers, but there are cool barbers out there. Barbers today are a lot like what tattoo artists were in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Barbers have become today, where they set it up, they have drinks in the shop. It's like a place where guys can hang out again. And those guys get it. Those guys are passionate about it, and they typically know what they're talking about. But for the beard, go back to that beard guy again. I think he probably could have saved his beard. It was thirsty for oils. So if he was using beard oil at night before he fell asleep and some beard balm during the day, he probably could have brought that back to life. And just a little trimming, taking off those dead ends like you brought up, he probably could have saved that.
Right.
I wouldn't have taken it.
Well, I noticed Go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say about 8 years ago, I grew my beard. It started out on the whole No Shave November thing.
Right. Yeah.
And it was like right around the end of October, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. A bunch of guys at work did. So after November had passed in December, I didn't cut mine. I wanted to see how long I could get it. And it was, I mean, it was probably, I've got pictures of it. I should have sent some to Andy's to post them, but it was really long. I got it. It was, I mean, close to like the Duck Dynasty guys or ZZ Top. It was really, really long.
Oh, wow.
And
Good for you.
yeah. And it only took me about probably 8 months to get it the length on it. A lot of length. And I liked it to a degree, but then it did kind of, you were really aware of it all the time.
Yeah.
And
it's like a splinter.
Right.
Or like a child on your face. You got a baby.
Then, so I at one point, I just said, okay, I'm going to cut it back. And my girlfriend at the time goes, man, you look like you've lost like 10 pounds. And I was like, well, watch me lose 5 more and then cut it into a goatee. But it felt so good afterwards,
Yeah.
Right. Well, and him saying that, like I said, when I've always kept this, I don't have a big, thick beard. I don't. And I let it grow to about right here. And I was just letting it grow. And it kind of got bushier than I've ever let it get during the whole thing. And my wife was like getting mad at me. She was, oh, you need to trim that. You need to trim that. It's bugging me. And I was like, no, I just want to see what it can do. I've never let it just go just to see what it can do.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you don't let it go see what it can do, you don't know.
Yeah.
And so she was, at least do the sides. So I did the sides. And then I had this guy, and she goes, oh, now you got this like weird Billy goat thing. She just
goatee.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I said it is kind of like, a goat, and she grabbed it and she like bit it one time when she kissed me. And I said, oh, now you've Billy goated me? It ain't going away. It ain't going away. If you want Billy goat me. But at the same time, it only got to about, I guess about right here.
Yeah.
And I noticed I started getting split ends. And I never really noticed that until my buddy had to lose his, and he talked about it. And I was like, I'm like, do I? And so I got some oil, I started putting on it and conditioning it and try to. But still, I feel like I forget about it. I just feel like I take a shower, I don't think about putting conditioner on it, putting oil on it.
I know.
Doing all these things that right now, I could probably grab one and break it in half. And I tried that the other day, and it's like, wow, that's really brittle.
Coarse.
Yeah, coarse and brittle. I'm like, should I be using oil? Should I be using? And I was like, I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest.
I used to love brushing mine out. I used to. I always thought it was. It's like a cat when a cat cleans itself. That's what I used to feel like when I brushed my beard out, man.
I got a buddy Ricky that makes ZZ Top guys look like chumps. I mean, it's thick, it's long. I mean, it's like he ain't got no hair nowhere else, but it is all here, bro. Right, it's crazy.
I can't grow a super long one like that. Same with my mustache. My mustache, this is about, as long as it will ever get, and that's called terminal length. And that's going to be different for everybody. So it really comes down to genetics at the end of the day. Like, I can't grow a huge beard. My beard probably stops right there, and that's it. And that's terminal length for me. So when I see these other guys with huge beards, it's like, wow, man, I don't. More power to you. I can deal with that.
I can do it again, probably if I want to. I don't want to. I mean, but
well, you tried it once.
Well,
so, I mean, that's
you got to try anything once.
Yeah, exactly. Try anything once. Almost anything.
I mean, the only reason I wouldn't do it again is just because I'm a comedian and I don't want to go on stage looking like ZZ Top or the Duck
Dynasty. That could be your thing, though.
That could be your thing.
Look, I don't want to do that.
That was ZZ Top's thing, and the ironic thing about ZZ Top is
Frank Beard doesn't have a beard.
Frank Beard doesn't have a beard.
Yeah.
Frank Beard doesn't have a beard.
Beard guy.
He is a beard. Yeah.
But
I like that he doesn't have a beard.
I know, that's perfect. He has a mustache. But people tend to baby their beards more now than they ever had in the past. Back in the 70s and 80s, guys had majestic mustaches and beards, and I guarantee they weren't using beard balm. They weren't using beard oil. They were just shampooing it in the shower probably and using conditioner like everyone else. Right. And just doing that will help out a lot. Just using regular everyday conditioner in your beard. However, it depends on the state of your beard and what you want to do with it. But I mean, like, if you are competing and you want to take care of that thing, by all means, or if you just want to, rock a beard and look good,
Right.
do that too. But a lot of guys overdo it with products. I see guys walking down the street with like these shines in the sun, and they're just putting
it's like a reflector. It's like a
and they're
goddamn
putting
reflector.
greasy oil in their beard during the day. And like I'm trying to educate people, don't do it during the day. Do it at night before you fall asleep while you're watching TV. Give it time to absorb, but don't do it during the day. If you're going to do anything during the day, do a balm. It won't be shiny and greasy looking. But people tend to overdo it, as we always do as humans. We overcorrect, and you see that often with these beard fails. But yeah, I wouldn't overthink it too much. All you need is maybe one beard oil, and it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You can buy your own oil, and even olive oil will work. Rubbing that through your beard, it'll help in conditioning it.
Right.
But
Now I've heard this, and I could be wrong, Rick. And if you were about to say something, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go for it.
Like back in the day, you brought up a good point. Back in the day, years ago, 20s, 30s, 40s. Let's just call it right there.
Yeah,
they never used anything other than they just shampoo. I've heard some beard enthusiast people say, "Well, it's the soaps and the crap that we have, the cheap soaps, the cheap shampoos, and all this are causing it to dry out now because of the chemicals and things." Is that true? Do you believe in that? Do you believe you should go to certain shampoo?
The thing is, it's like anything else with business and marketing. They tend to take words and use them wrong. A lot of soaps on the shelf in supermarkets aren't real soaps. They're detergents.
Right.
They legally should not be able to call them soap. And sometimes you'll see cleansing bar because legally they shouldn't be calling it soap. A real soap is created through saponification. That's what we do. They're making detergent bars, and detergent really creates that lather and all that big bubble because psychologically that's what you want, but that's not really what your skin needs or your hair wants. So yeah, certain ingredients are sketchy and will dry out your hair and make it brittle. But that said, even the cheapest, like the VO5 conditioner, you see that chunky, like fatty conditioner, stuff is good for your beard. And like so, if you do hit up your beard with some low budget soaps or detergents or whatnot, you can fix that situation immediately after the fact.
So you don't have to go spend $30 on
no, we don't. I mean, we do sell beard oil. I think we sell 2 ounces for about $10. It's typically like 2 ounces for like $30 or something like that. But I can't do that to people because, and again, you can create your own too. Your own beard oils, and I'm sure there's 1,000,001 recipes online that you'll be able to find if you are interested in doing this. But people want to buy products and they want to buy all these things so they're on offer all the time, but I can promise you don't need them. It's just basic common sense. I mean, if something's dry, you want to oil it up is what it all comes down to. And it's the same thing with these protein-based filaments hanging off your face. So you don't need to overthink it. You don't need to spend too much, but you do need to just know what you're dealing with. And yeah, if it's dry, oil it is what it all comes down to. Whether
it's olive oil or anything, it's
olive oil is
at
good.
Least that.
There's and it's definitely good in a pinch. I prefer argan oil if I'm going to go there, and I might spend a little bit more for like $1 or $2 more for that. But olive oil is definitely good in a pinch. It's been used for thousands of years in the Mediterranean for even hair, for hot oil treatments in the hair. Women have been using it, so it's definitely good one. But there's argan oil, there's sesame oil. I mean, there's so many great oils. If you do pick up one of these oils off the shelf, though, make sure it's refined. Otherwise, if you're using sesame oil, you might smell like some type of Middle Eastern dish. So refined oils are good.
Fried rice or something.
Yeah, something Thai food. And hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But so I mean, don't overthink it, but do keep it in mind if you are trying to keep a good-looking beard. But some people are just genetically blessed too, and they don't have to be
right.
I mean, look at Tom Selleck and his mustache. People worship that thing. I'm sure he was just running a comb through it back in the early 80s.
Sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody, not everybody can have a long beard or, my buddy knocked me because I actually started getting some length on mine. He goes, let it grow. He goes, you'll get to me. And I'm like, there is no freaking way, dude.
Yeah.
There's no freaking way. It's not happening. Even here is kind of thinnish and it looks hillbilly-ish, which is fine.
Yeah.
For certain things. Can't do it. But listen, I mean, I still got hair up here, bro. I still got hair. Still got hair. He's bald as bald can be.
Yeah.
He's like, well, your hair's up there thin. And I go, but I'm 45. I'm still here with hair. I'll accept my plight in life.
Yeah, exactly.
I can appreciate your beard. I love it. I love guys that have big. I love it. I can. I'm glad I got what I got. But you know what? I'm still holding up top. 45. I'm just still going to keep riding. That's going to go eventually. I know this.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. It's listening, so don't say that.
I know. Don't jinx yourself. But, everybody has, and I'm glad that you brought up the, Gen X. People are like, because people try to sell this crap, and I've seen this. Well, you can grow a beard like they're advertising to me. Andy, you can grow a beard like Douglas.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, I cannot. They go, well, if you buy all this crap we're selling you, we promise you can look like him. The vitamins. I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I'm a true believer in genetics. Certain things can be a little helped, but not like that.
No, and anyone who says otherwise is selling a product, because that's like bodybuilders too when they sell those, the different protein drinks, someone who's making big. No, it's genetics at the end of the day, and especially with beards. I mean, some people will never be able to grow a beard, and it's like, look at your dad, look at your uncle, look at your grandfather. Did they have a beard? Could they grow a beard? It's tougher to tell sometimes, because back in the day, it wasn't in style to grow a beard. And again, I really think that's a byproduct of shitty shaving products. I really do. I think because a lot of people have grown up with cartridge razors, they hate shaving, and that's where this beard craze comes from. So there's that.
Well, yeah, it's all about selling, and I get that, but don't lie to people. No. It's like don't tell people you get a pill and you can have a 10-inch wiener. It's like, no, you cannot.
You can, but it's not yours. And you have to give it back.
Yeah. Now, maybe I can go out back and grow me a 12-foot eggplant if I put Miracle Grow in it. I know I can do that, but I can't do that to me.
No. They'll tell you anything. And you know what? They do that because it works. People believe. I mean, it blows my mind, the stuff people believe nowadays. Like, you can show them how this won't work, and they'll still buy it because the guy selling it said it works. It's like snake oil salesmen back in the day. We haven't changed when it comes to
there used to be this commercial that used to come on, and I don't remember what the product was, but the guy was always Smiling Bob. And they would always talk about, to me, the commercial made it sound like if you take this pill, that your dick's gonna get bigger, and I'm like, I don't think so, man. I don't think it works that way. And if that's the case, why are you, why aren't you, promoting this during primetime network hours, not during Judge Judy? I'm not buying this, man.
No, yeah, I don't trust any of those things. I just really, and we try to be really transparent. And if you go to any of our sales pages, I will break down everything for you. But at the end of and at the end of it, I'll say, like, what we say in our hobby or in our niche is YMMV. Your mileage may vary, as with anything in life, and that's words to live by, I think, because there's not one magic pill for everybody.
No,
we're all different.
Right.
We all are, and it's just like comedy, like what Rick and I do. We're comedians. Not one joke works for every comic. Not one genre. Not one view works for everybody.
Yeah, you know, feel the crowd out.
You've got to figure that out and figure that niche out. And it's just like, I'm different than Rick. Rick's different than me. I tell the same joke. It's different. It comes off there, just like with what you're. And that's why I liked when I found you and I started doing a deep dive search on your stuff. I was like, he's not bullshitting around. He's being honest. He's straight up. He's like, this is what it is. And I appreciate you saying, hey, look, I still sell this oil for $10 for 2 ounces, but you can still go use olive oil or create your own.
Right.
And because your face and your body type is going to differ than the dude I'm selling to every month.
Yep. No, it's true.
And I can appreciate that. And I can respect that more than anything, because the truth in selling and for the quick buck is not there. You want loyal followers and people are going to follow you and use you and buy your stuff, because it's like, look, if it didn't work for you, sorry, it just doesn't work. But honestly, end of the day, here's what we're going to try to help walk you through it.
And that's why I make myself available in a live chat or on Facebook or an email, or even our phone numbers on a page all the time, because I know we want our customers to come back at the end of the day,
Well, yeah, repeat customers are your best customer. It's not the guy that you sell to you're one and done.
Yeah,
that's not the one. That's not what you want. It's like anything. You want those true followers, and that's where you build from. Because there's people who are going to broadcast you the most.
Oh yeah.
and carry your message the most.
Oh
But-
yeah.
But
They become friends. I mean, I'm so like I've met so many people all around the world thanks to this that started off as customers and then turned into friends. I mean, it really,
Awesome.
it's like a family, especially when we do these conferences every year. It's like a family
Right.
reunion, you know, you get people coming back and it's really, you get really close to people. It's funny how that works. And the thing is, 15 years ago, guys couldn't get together and talk about stuff like this. It was kind
Right.
of foofy, you know. I mean, like you wouldn't talk about your skin type or shaving in general. You know, you wouldn't do that. And now here we are doing it. It's just funny how it's just a slow change that you're seeing. It's very interesting to observe.
Well, we've all changed. Everybody's acknowledging that everybody's different. Like my dad, there's pictures of my dad in the 70s. He can grew a beard. And I remember when he grew a beard, and it was like bam. And it was thick. And then he shaved it. It was like 82 or either he finally just shaved it off. And my mother said, "Get ready." And he shaved it off, and I was like, "Oh, who's this dude?"
Yeah.
And if I do that right now with what little bit I have, you'll be like, "Who's that guy?"
Exactly.
I'm like, and I was like, I don't have much at all, but and he never went back, but he could right now, today or tomorrow, stop shaving like a week.
Yeah.
Boom. It would take me 2 to 3 to get this back to where it is now.
Yeah.
So we're all different.
I did a Snapchat filter a couple weeks ago where it looked like I didn't have a beard, and the only positive that I found out of that is if I ever need to disappear and look different, that would be the way to go. I was like, no, man. Because I've had a beard and mustache for at least 30 years, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to do with a completely shaved face.
Doesn't take. I remember when my mom growing up, she'd take her glasses off, look like a totally different person. You know,
Right.
She had her eyes fixed, did the LASIK thing, but she's got fake glasses. You know, the fake lenses, just because she didn't recognize herself either. You know, you get used to that.
Right. Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, y'all keep talking. Give me 1 second. But walk us through what I found, the Galactic Beard Bib. This is the Galactic Beard. Walk through that a little bit.
Unbox that.
Unbox that treat.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, isn't it? That's not my invention. But they're popular with beard shavers now for years. And again, you could use something like that, which is awesome. I mean, when you share an apartment with your girlfriend or your wife or house or whatever, they're gonna get hair's gonna go everywhere when you're shaving it, and it's gonna cause a little upset there. What I did for years, I would just use newspaper. I would open up the newspaper, put it over the sink, catch all the hair, crumple it up, and throw it out, and I was, one and done. But often guys won't do that. They'll just shave over the sink. It's going to clog up the sink. It's going to go down the drain. It's going to go everywhere. Hair flies everywhere. You guys know this when you're using those things. This I found it came out a few years ago. People started using these, and I thought it was genius. You suction cup the bib to the mirror, and it catches all the hair. And then when you're done, it's hooked on those little suction cups. You take it off the hooks and you just hold it over the toilet and flush it down and it's gone. But it's just another way to catch all that hair. But again, this is something you don't necessarily need. I mean, they're cheap enough, but you can always use newspaper too as another tip and hack that I've used in the past forever. And I always, found it very effective. But that's all that is. It just catches the hairs from flying everywhere when you're doing your daily, weekly, or monthly trim up job.
What I do is I use my roommate's pillowcases
and
then turn them inside, and then still just play stupid about it. Go, I don't know, maybe
exactly.
Here.
He wakes up with your hair stuck to his face. Right. Not cruel. That's great. Yeah, that's exactly. We just try to offer something for everybody. At the end of the day, beard bibs are not a huge seller for us. We do sell them. I mean, we get more wet shavers. We call them wet shavers, traditional shavers, than we do beard folk. We're actually getting more beard folk these days, or beardos, if you want to go that route. These days, I don't know if the real guys are picking up those bibs. We do sell a handful a month, but I mean, when it comes to beard products, I'm more into our beard balm, our beard oil, but especially our beard cube. And our beard cube is it's a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. And once you use that, you'll never go back to anything else because it's super conditioning.
Is that what this is, or is that the balm? That's
the balm. That's a beard balm.
Okay.
The beard cube.
I have a picture of that one.
Yeah, beard cube is one of our.
Is that in this box?
What's up?
I was like, is that in this box? I was trying to figure out.
No, that's a traditional shaving starter kit. So that's going to have a brush, a soap, an aftershave, and 2.5 months worth of blades in a razor. But no, the Beard Cube is one of our innovations, as well as we also have the stuff called Wicked Cookie Duster, and it's a mustache wax remover. Everyone's talking about mustache wax, but no one's talking about mustache wax remover. And as far as I know, we're the only one that sells one. And I've been selling it for 8 years, and it just contains oils that naturally break down the wax in mustache wax, and it's easier to remove at the end of the night. And that said, a lot of guys that are using mustache waxes often make the mistake of using lip balm in the winter. And some of those contain the oils that actually dissolve mustache wax. So you got to be careful there. If you don't understand why your mustache wax is dissolving during the course of the day, it could be the lip balm you're using. Also, that said, if you are a guy that does the handlebar mustache, a lot of people also make the mistake of twisting it. They twist it up, and then with the wax in there, don't do that, because you're adding tension, like spring tension to the mustache. So it's going to want to unwrap during the course of the day. What you want to do is put the wax in your fingers and bend it up. Don't twist. A lot of guys, even those villains back in the day, you see them twisting. People don't really do that. Guys on the street will do that because they think that's how you do it. But no, it's you put the wax and you bend it up. Don't twist it because you're adding tension to it. My mustache tip for today.
Well, good to know. Well, anything special we need to know about your brushes before we jump on to another thing and kind of wind the show down? We've hit our hour mark. We typically don't pull a Joe Rogan and go 2 to 3 hours.
No, yeah. Well, when I'm on the show, things change.
I mean, we've gone an hour and 20. I don't care, but I'm just. Brushes
are great because, again, everyone's talking about exfoliation these days. You go to the store. I've never seen so many exfoliating products for men in my life. In fact, I think most guys go down that rabbit hole and tend to exfoliate way too much, which does more harm than good to your skin. A lot of times, like you see the shiny beards walking down the street, you'll also see guys with the shiny faces or like the shiny foreheads. That's from over exfoliation. That's damage. With shaving, and most people don't realize this, but shaving in itself is naturally exfoliating. You're scraping a blade across your face. Nothing is more exfoliating than that. You can rub sand on your face like these soap products that they sell on the market. You don't need that. So if you are into exfoliating products, don't be doing them in the beard area if you're already shaving there, because you're already exfoliating. A beard brush, a shaving brush is also it's meant to apply lather to your face, hot lather to your face. But the dual action is that stimulation you're getting from the brushes or the whiskers on your, or the fibers rather, of the brush on your face, creating a natural stimulating, exfoliating after effect. Right. So there's that. It brings blood to the face. It's nice. It's part of the soothing element of traditional shaving. But its primary job and feature is to just apply lather to the face. Everything else is just a bonus. It's really great, Another great thing with the hobby is, aside from the brushes and the soaps and all that, is the scents that come with it. Like, we sell over 70 different scents.
I saw that. The list was very long.
Oh, yeah. We do aftershave colognes. Like, aftershaves are like, oh, man, they're magical. Again, it's like, not only is it like an escape, like that one, hour you have to yourself, or 45 minutes or a half an hour, however long your shave is. Like, it's not only is it like that ritual that get away from everything else to focus on that tactile, part of the day. Then you have the scents that stick with you during the course of the day. So you get to either match to the shave soap, the aftershave you're going to use, or mix it up, find something that complements that. But that will stay with you all day. And it's like a 3-act play. Different characters come to the forefront and back, and those characters are different scent notes. And so we do a bunch of different stuff like that. I call it scent collage. I do one called Tombstone. I actually visited Tombstone 8 times before I developed the scent, just smelling everything. So I could try to create a cologne or an aftershave that would smell like the town of Tombstone here in Arizona.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got gunpowder. It's got leather, like saddle leather in it.
Right.
Cool. It's got a lot of great elements in it that are really, it's like you will feel like a spaghetti Western when you're wearing this stuff. And
does it got some dead spirits and some dead dead ghosts?
Kind of, to a certain extent. I do use this rose that's only grown in Tombstone. Well, and I'm sorry, it's not only grown there, but it is the oldest Banksy rose shrub bush in the world, I believe. Definitely in the United States, and it's over
really
the oldest. Yeah, it's the oldest. It's been grown in Tombstone since Tombstone was put together back in the 1870s. Yeah, so I get the roses from there, and I create a hydrosol. It's like distillation. It's kind of like creating alcohol. I distill them, get a hydrosol out of it, and essential oil. But I use that in the aftershave as well. So when I call it Tombstone, there really is the heart and soul of Tombstone inside each bottle. So yeah, And people, a lot of guys, we don't think about scents growing up. It's really just an aftershave, something you use, like whatever dad's got in the cabinet. But now you can rethink it and go, what do I want to smell like today? And so, again, it's a rabbit hole, but it's a fun rabbit hole. So I got a lot, like, we live out west, so I got a lot of Western theme stuff, and then the alien theme stuff. I mean, we got a lot of like different themes that really, it will change the course of your day. It'll change your mood. Scent is, our scent. Our power of scent is the strongest of all the senses in our body. So, and know that. It's like a time machine. You smell something you're back 10 years ago to something
exactly.
You there. So we take advantage of that and really try to like create these different scentscapes, if you will.
I call that the Play-Doh. I call it the Play-Doh effect, because every time you smell a can of Play-Doh, it'll automatically take you back to being a kid playing with Play-Doh. You can I think that's true. That's the most strongest scents that you have.
Play-Doh, paste, Ditto paper. Remember the Ditto paper?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I've created a lot of different scents. I did one actually called Rockin' Ramen, and it smells like ramen noodles.
Okay.
I've done a baby powder one. I've done all types of just wacky stuff, like really nostalgic scents. I have one that smells exactly like dirt. In fact, it was called Dirt, and it was more of a joke. Like, will people buy this? And it smells like soil, like clean soil. And hunters really loved it because it was hiding their scent.
Right. Yeah.
But it smells like soil. I release it every summer. But we do a lot of fun scents, and it's like a lot of people just haven't thought of this before. But you can smell like that, and we will help you.
Well, what was I about to ask you? I totally just lost track when you said dirt and hunting, because I get this pine tree and this earth smell stuff, and I put it all over me when I go hunting. What was I about that? It was it was about the going back, the time scent. Yep. Holy cow! I just lost my train of thought. What was that?
If the scent connected to that, you'd remember it immediately.
Yeah, I know. Right. I know. It's the smell. The smell. What was the smell thing? I was just thinking. Because you said
Ditto paper. Ditto paper.
Yeah. Like back when remember when the old purple printing.
Ditto paper.
Ditto paper. Yeah, bring that back. That arsenic.
Yes, I love that smell. Kids don't know what we're talking about when we say that.
You'd sit there, you'd get in class, and the teacher would come in late, and the paper would still be wet, and it's this smear of a purple print. And it's like, it's not like a print like we have today. Like, this is 1,000 times better. Oh yeah, it's a blurry purple thing, and then you'd get high. You just take it and put it across your face and go. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm awake now. Let's go. It's go time.
So it's like that scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I think that's what happened.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we used to do. Or paste. Paste had that like minty taste to it. We'd be like,
man, somebody would open a marker. You could smell it across the room. Was you didn't have to be like up on somebody. It was across the room.
Oh yeah. I know. But no, kids don't know what they're missing. But everything. Comic books had a certain scent to it. Newspaper has a scent to it. We don't necessarily notice it in the moment. Some of these things, anyways, we don't notice it in the moment. But if it's not there, you do notice it. And definitely, growing up for me, school was all about Ditto paper and paste, Crayola crayons too. You can smell the wax in the crayon. Right. So that's the type of stuff that interests me. I was actually trying to make a soap that smelled like a nosebleed. Remember when you got punched in the nose, you could smell it like almost like that copper.
It's the copper, it's the iron. It's the iron in your blood that you smell and taste. It's all at the same time. It's the iron, it's that irony, grainy.
Yeah. It's unique. And so I really wanted to create something like that for a Halloween scent at one time. I have yet to do that, but we've done a lot of wacky stuff. Band-Aids. Band-Aids have a unique scent too.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Our crawl space. A crawl space in a house. It's got.
Well, I didn't do a crawl. I did do a vintage VW vehicle.
Oh yeah,
that smelled gasoline, mildew, oil, motor oil.
It's got asbestos in it. It's got
and a Christmas tree. One of those Christmas tree deodorants. And I actually had different shaped soaps that shaped like Christmas trees, different scents. Like you get pine, you could get patchouli, and it was a cutout inside the soap. You would press that in. So whatever Volkswagen with different air freshener you wanted, you could recreate like that. So we've gone down the rabbit hole with these things. You can totally get lost. I mean, I'm telling you, when you walk into our lab, it's like all these different colors, if you will. It's like, let's make something. And so it's a lot of fun.
So you're doing all this yourself. You're not outsourcing.
Well, for all the artisan products, all of our artisan products, for the most part, I'd say 90% we do. So that's the software side of the business. Then there's hardware, like razors. I'm not a machinist, so I can't.
Right. Well, that stuff makes sense.
I can design it, but
it's like the scents, the balm stuff. You have a hand in all that. Like, hey, this is what I create. This is the way I want it to smell, look, feel. This is my thing. This is
And I'm pretty specific on our sales page. You'll understand which ones we're creating and what's not. I mean, we have over 70 cents. So we're always making that. Like our aftershaves, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to make an aftershave cologne. We have them maturing or aging, if you will. So, I mean, it's an ongoing process. A lot of this stuff is hands-on. And just, using old school perfuming techniques. And it's a lot like making your own alcohol at the end of the day. It's a very similar process. So it's great. You know, I mean, I barrel age a lot of the stuff too. Some of my bay rums are aged in oak barrels. So it's really like we put our heart and soul into it.
Man, it sounds like it. I mean, that's why I was asking. I mean, I knew some things you have to outsource. I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. I mean, there was one point I wanted to take a pottery class so I could make shaving bowls. My girlfriend's like, come on, man. You have no time for this, that, and the other thing. And now you're going to start making shaving bowls? Yeah, you're right. So, we have to outsource some.
Well, and I'm going to we'll talk about this and get off the subject, kind of close the show then. But you have a travel one. A travel one that's a non-breakable one. I saw that looked pretty cool, and I wish I'd put a picture up, but I got so tied up. But you got a travel one it says it's non-breakable. It looks cool as heck.
Yeah, it's indestructible travel scuttle.
Yep. Tell us a little bit about that.
I made an infomercial commercial for that too. You'll see it on the sales page. It's a spoof on an infomercial, but that's a scuttle again. So that's like double jacketed, if you will. There's a bottom part of the vessel that you fill up with hot water.
Yep.
And then the top bowl is where you create the lather. And again, so that hot water down below is keeping the top bowl warm. So you have a hot lather throughout the entire shave. Because, again, I find that to be like the hot lather, I think, is like the key to a really killer shave. Granted, there are guys that prefer a cold shave too. I don't get it, but again, your mileage may vary. So scuttle, I would take mine. They're typically, or historically rather, ceramic, made out of ceramic. Right. So they don't travel well. I would end up breaking this stuff. Because every time I travel, I try to shave. Like I'm typically traveling to go to a shaving convention or something like that. And I always show up with like the horriblest shave in the world because I can't bring my gear with me. So this was kind of to remedy that for myself. But I also found other folks were having the same problem. So that's why we came up with that. And that's the first of its kind. Nothing like that exists.
I'd never seen that before. And I caught my eye. I was like, wait, this, and I was like, I never thought about traveling.
Yeah.
And shaving like that. And I was like, I wonder, I was like, I don't know that I've seen this anywhere else.
Yeah, no, you haven't. And so originally I was calling it the travel scuttle, but I kind of changed it more focused to the indestructible part of it because it's also great for elderly folks or if you have children in the house. Because again, originally these are made out of ceramic, and people are always dropping them or whatnot. So it's just a great all around, like last forever, almost an heirloom piece. It will last forever. So I mean, like you will be passed. And that's another thing about safety razors and traditional shaving is these things are built to last forever. Like as I said, my father had his grandfather's razors. So I mean, like you can't do that with a cartridge razor or a foam glue in a can. There's no heritage to that. There's no legacy. Where these things, you buy one razor, you're going to have it for the rest of your life, and you pass it down to your kids. Right. And so that's another reason to return to this stuff. It's better for your face, better for your wallet, and better for the planet, even at the end of the day. So it's a no-brainer.
Right. No, it's great. I appreciate your time. I appreciate this. This has been great. It's been informative. I mean, I knew a little bit, and I kind of learned, but I've learned some more, especially with you, with your own stuff. You've got all your stuff is very reasonably priced. I must add, it's very reasonably priced.
Yeah, we try to offer something for everybody because I want to be the people's company. I want everyone to be able to afford our products. There are some things that cost more, but that's only because they cost. Whoops. No, that's only because they cost us more. So, so you're gonna, I mean, who pays for that? But we do try to keep all of our prices really low, and we do what we have to keep our prices really low. Some products we do wholesale to other stores and whatnot. Some products we can't wholesale to other stores because we won't make anything off of it. You're forced to come to us, but we do try to keep everything reasonable just so everyone can afford something, can get a good shave at the end of the day.
Right. Well, Rick, you got anything to ask Mr. Douglas Smythe before we start landing this plane and signing off for the evening?
No, I feel very educated though.
I do too. I'm educated. I am very educated. Thanks for coming on, brother. And by the way, I'm going to bring you back on because I am going to do an alien podcast. We have not done yet. I've been waiting for me to get this green screen air and lighting so I can do all my alien crap behind me.
Oh, we can totally do that. I have a paranormal show also, so it's right up my alley.
Oh, dude, I'm going to do one of those too because we'll bring you back in because I know you're deep into that stuff.
Yeah.
Again, folks, if you haven't gone and looked and you're just catching this on a replay, whatever, go to PhoenixShaving.com. I was trying to bring up the banner. I can't do two. I'm trying now.
Also, if you want to learn more about this, folks, check out. I made one video, like an intro video to shaving called howtowetshave.com. But again, I'd rather be shaving.com is it's kind of like car talk, where whether you're into cars or not, it's fun to listen to and it's got something for everybody. So I'd rather be shaving.com is a great introduction to what we're doing. But yeah, if you're interested in products, PhoenixShaving.com. We have a chat right there. We're super easy to get a hold of if you have any questions at all. And I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, ladder be shaving. Get the Galactic Beard Bib.
It comes in handy. I use it.
Yeah, I need that when I eat because I literally stain every shirt I have. My wife's like, I can't have new shirts. I'm like, I literally have to go change shirts to eat. Because I will literally stain a shirt in 2 seconds from eating a cookie. I can't do it.
I'm not eat at Chili's no more.
No,
they would tell him they'd tell him put a shirt on, Mr. Gunnin.
Right? Yeah.
It's all
the beard, the flavor saver.
Like, I don't want to stain my $30 shirt.
I mean, Galactic Beard Bib. It's your best friend. I'll print a lobster on it for you.
that is it, though. That's the ultimate lobster bib. That's the ultimate lobster bib, right?
Butter bib. Better butter bib.
Oh, it was great having you, sir. Hey, we're gonna stay in touch.
Definitely.
I'm actually probably gonna order a couple of things. I'm interested in a couple of those scents, especially that tombstone thing. That's very interesting, and but we're definitely going to have you back on when we do the alien and possible paranormal show because I am going to do a couple of those dedicated. Which Rick, by the way, I know I haven't told you, but we are going to do a couple of those. Come October,
that's great.
October.
Yes.
We're going to save those for October. I think those will be good.
Right on. Excellent, guys. We'll stay in touch, and thank you for having me again.
Yes, sir, brother.
Absolutely.
Be good. Stay safe. Talk to you later, sir. So, Rick, did you learn a lot? I learned a lot. I don't know. What did you do?
Yes, I learned a lot. I feel like I've been neglecting my face the entire time.
Me too. Man. I felt like I have not taken care of me at all.
Yeah.
No, it is really cool, and that's why I want to dive deep into this stuff because this stuff's really cool. It's been an eclectic thing for a while, and it's really these guys. When I looked at their webpage and I found Douglas, I was just like, this is a guy that we need to bring on, especially quarantine people who have neglected their face, their beards, or either shaving them or not shaving them and trying to figure. Like I said, I had a couple buddies that had to shave their whole beard off. I mean, it was like because they were like, I just wasn't doing it right. And I didn't know, and I'm like, you look at a guy just because he has a big, nice beard doesn't mean he knows what he's doing or not doing.
Man, hell, I didn't. I mean, my beard was about halfway down to my chest. And all I did was just shampoo it and condition it and brush it, but I didn't even do that.
I didn't even do that.
So,
I didn't even do that.
I agree with him about what he says about being hereditary. Like my uncle, on my mom's side, he's in his late 60s and he's got a real long beard too. It's all white, of course, but it's like a Santa Claus beard. And I mean, I get the same genes from him. It literally took me almost 8 months to start getting some actual really decent length on mine. And that's when I was just like, I'm going to keep doing it. I kept it for about a year.
Right.
But, there's pros and cons to it. I don't really miss it. I don't think I'd go back. But I did it once for a few years. I think I probably had You know, I can remember when Delilah was just a little baby, like
Mhm.
within her first year, and I would hold her. She would always grab onto it and want to, and that would be okay until she just wanted to just, you know, pull it really hard, and it's like it's all connected to my face, babe. So,
Right, you know,
but it'd be
and
weird though. You know, you'd get like these long, like you know, like a hair would come out, and you'd pull it, and it'd be long. You know, it'd be like a real long. And it's like, wow, man, that's crazy how long. And it got, I think it got as far as it got, it stopped at that point. But I mean, it was still,
right,
I was pretty impressed with the length on it. I didn't think I'd get it that long, but it was like I say, it's about ZZ Top length.
right.
It
Well,
was
you
real
know,
close.
like I said, if I shaved everything I have right now, it would take me 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 6, to get it back to where it is right now. That's how slow my
Wow.
face hair grows. That's how
See,
slow
mine
it
grows
grows.
fast. Mine grows so fast, and I
Now,
trim mine all the time. I mean, I trim it at least once
I
a
could
week.
shave my back right now, and you would have to shave it again within 3 to 4 days because it would be back to where it is right now. Isn't
Wow.
that weird? Isn't that weird? It's weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun, weird facts we're throwing out there to people. I don't know if we're getting a little too personal. I don't care. We say weirder crap on stage.
Yeah. Next
All
week
right,
we'll
well,
be
let's
talking
wind
to
this
the.
show down. Let's wind this show
All right,
down.
man.
Hey, folks, go to storefrontier.com/Andy's Room. Buy a Fat Thor podcast shirt, just like you see there. Look at this logo. Look at it. You can get that. You can get a Fat Thor Lockdown t-shirt. They're only $20. They're only $20. It helps support the show, helps support what we're using here, helps support us growing, getting better. And we've got some more things coming up. I'm doing some movie stuff. Me and Rick got to talk after the show. I got a call, by the way, Rick. I don't know if you've gotten the call. We've been asked to go do a comedy tour of some special dates. We need to discuss that. So they've got some interesting things happening.
Goody,
So
goody. So stay
yeah, if you know,
tuned,
by
Fat
the way, go to our page, go to the Fat Thor Lockdown Challenge, join it, or go to the Fat Thor Podcast and give us a 5-star rating. We need ratings, folks. We need views, we need ratings, we need shares. Just do something. By the way, we still are going to execute the shirt of the month next month. I was going to do the Going to Pound Town shirt. Still going to release that next month. Get ready for that. That one's only going to be $20 as well. We just need your support to keep things going. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to keep things going. We're not trying to pay for our DeLoreans or Ferraris or anything like that. We're just trying
our
to
mustache or our mustache wax
or mustache beard oils or
that's
soaps
right.
or
And,
whatever. But we need your help. It's all because of you. We need your help. You guys are why we're here and why we're growing and getting better. Couldn't thank you more. Couldn't be a better thing. But hey, we're having fun. Anything you got to say right before we hit the bye-bye button?
we'll see y'all next week on Fat Thor. Make sure you go and share this show and tell your friends and go to the Fat Thor Lockdown Challenge Facebook page and come on board and join us and see all kind of stuff we're doing over there. And join us also every other Tuesday at Power 108.9, all about the laughs with me and Andy Gunnin. Yes, I'm a promotional horse. So
Yes.
that's what's happening. So I will
That's
see
what's
everybody
happening.
very soon.
That's it. We'll see you guys next Thursday, 6:30, same time live, or just check us out on a replay. See you later.
Yeah.